that cheerleader mom, that happy-go-lucky mom, and she gonna speak her mind like that. So you hear the tone. She says, "Well, you know, right after that, you hear the tone of that voice change. So here it comes." She says, "To whom much is given, much is expected." It's like, whoa. At the time, I didn't know it was the word. I was just like, man, that's heavy. So we had our conversation. I don't even remember the rest of it. I hung up the phone, sat down. Man, to whom much is given, much is expected. I'm just sitting there chewing on it. So I realized I was to be accountable. Accountable to my teammates, to my coaches, to my family, to my church home, to my hometown, to myself. And a lot of times we get in situations where we should be accountable and we don't acknowledge it. Sometimes God will put you in a place as a father, as a mother, as a teacher, as an employee, and you have to realize that you're a leader as well. You can't just overlook the places that you are, where you're going, where you've been, and not understand that you are there with purpose, that you're there to move, that you're there to have change, to have impact, to have effect, as they said, in the lives of others. To change them, to bring the Lord to them, to give them knowledge and power, to increase them as individuals. We just live for the world. We just keep going and do what's pleasing to people and not respect our position. Especially in these small towns, when you're a leader, when they follow behind you, and everyone they knows when they see you, they got 5 or 6 or 7 behind you. I was that person. But where am I leading you to? How am I being accountable to you? By not showing you how to be the best you. By not giving you what you need to get through this world, giving you what you need to feed your kids, giving you what you need to feed your own mom and dad. Because some of us didn't have them as leaders, have them as their praying person, so they needed us to step up. And you can feel like, woe is me and I'm sad for myself, or you can step up and be that man. You have the power in you to be that special, but it's your choice to do that. Well, I had my best season that year. I may have been player of the week 4 or 5 times. I ended up being named the offensive MVP. God took me there, this little big head country boy from Luling, Texas. These guys from Austin. But these guys from Dallas, from Houston, from Florida. He said, "You're a leader. You fulfilled your purpose." See, I didn't understand it then. It took me getting with him to get that understanding. But at the time, I felt like I failed. Because when I finished, what about the NFL? God, oh, you know what? You just go back home. And as I said, I would be in the church restless, wondering where I'm going. Because at the time, it's still about me.
Come on.
You had all these experiences, all this success, but you consider success what you wanted it to be. You consider success what the world told you success was. See, success for me is that progress, that growth. And what we can't do as people is allow accomplishment to be diminished. See, we all have different starting places. Some of us, like I said, don't have the parents. Some of us have different jobs. We were born at different times. And for a person at this age of 65, it's an accomplishment to learn how to use the computer. A person at 65 to get a job and start working. You know, we overlook those small things because it's not success in our own eyes and what the world tells us what success is. Oh, I need that car. I gotta get it. I gotta do me out here so they'll know my name, but they already know you. You just not being who you're supposed to be. It's already written. It's already there. The path has been blazed, but you have to choose to step in the shoes and walk in it. You have to choose to be that person. You are special. That's right. It's not by chance. You are special. He does have purpose for you. It is things that he wants to do with you in your life, but you want to choose to accept the responsibility. You will not choose to step into the role. I didn't choose to step into that role. I just kept fumbling around, running around week in, trying to figure out what's next. And it's ironic because this was sometime about 1.5 years after I left, late 2006. And when I got the offensive MVP award at our football banquet, I said, I like to thank my mother and father, because if it wasn't for them, I'd probably be dead or in jail.
Amen.
And they laughed at the banquet, and I was laughing as I walked back to my seat. I was like, they laughing like it's a joke. I know if it wasn't for them, I would be the hardest head amongst them all. Well, that year and a half later, I'm on, busy trying to be in and out. Marques, come here. When I walked in that house, I was like, oh Lord. Here we go. Didn't even want to go into the room, really, just stayed in the kitchen on the outside. Yes, ma'am. What are you doing? Oh, nothing's finna go. No, I said, what are you doing? What are your plans? What are you gonna do? Man, I got this job, and I'm just gonna keep working, and no. You see, I don't want you down here doing what everyone else is doing. I don't want you to end up dead or in jail. What are you going to do? And it hurt. Now, even thinking about it at the time, because my response was, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I want to do. Lost. Because I wouldn't accept the message. I wouldn't accept who I was in Christ. I kept trying to find my own way. I needed to do it for the world and for those I needed that life. I wasn't willing. At Baylor, I had all this time to learn how to write resumes. I had this time to go do internships. I had time to just discover the Lord and do these things, but I wasn't willing. If it wasn't about what I thought was going to give me that notoriety, I was hiding from it. I was running from it. Oh, there go Coach so-and-so. He might want you to go talk to those kids. Well, how long is it going to be? A 30 minute? Oh, we can do that an hour. No, we're not doing an hour. Just running from it. Running. Because the devil don't want to see you shine either. He'll put every temptation in your face. Last week, or a few weeks ago, my friend Trent, he speaks, and he was talking about one of our other friends. He's the son of a pastor, Jonathan Evans, and he said, you have to understand, the devil studies you. The devil is your best opponent. When you were this big, the devil was watching you. He was learning you. So every weakness, all those temptations, it's not by chance. He just rolling them out there at you, just throwing them. As soon as you get on that path, like the music not working, like me sitting there, I'm not worthy. Man, get out of my face. Get out of my face. God told me he knew me before I was in the womb. Jesus said that I am the light of the world. And sometimes we minimize that too much. I am the light. You are the light of the world. And it's if you choose to step into that light. Why can't you be there? You have all these other individuals from these towns, from these cities of success with stories that they came from the bottom and did all these great things. But why won't it happen for you? Why don't you believe that you could step into it and live it? It's because your foundation, like mine, is shaky, it's not stable, it's in the wrong things. You're basing it on the wrong circumstance, you're basing it on the wrong points of reason. God has things that he wants to do with you, but you won't allow it. You won't step into your greatness. You won't step into your purpose. You won't believe in yourself. You won't have faith in him. See, my willingness to not get those things done is the same type of willingness that we have around here as people. We have to be willing, like Kingsley is, to go get the kid. We have to be willing when there's not an arena to make our own arena. We have to be willing when they say there's not going to be an event. You know what? I'll just make my own event, and who comes, they come. After my first speech, I was like, oh man, when I go to Luling, I got some work to do. I got some things that I need to get ready. I got to work on, but I don't know when it's going to happen. And me and Amira would talk, and we talk about humble beginnings. We talk about how God has the people there who he intends to be there. We have to give it our all regardless. And so every speech I prepare it as if it's 25,000. That's right.
That's right.
I go at it. I was talking to my wife this week, and she was like, I didn't know you seen you practice too much, but I've been reading that word. Come on. And I just been speaking extemporaneously. I wasn't planning something, I'm just going. Because I have to let God work today. Because it's not about me. I have to be willing to do that, willing to trust him, to stand in that faith, to let him shine. Because I'm only a vessel. You say you can't. I don't get caught up in, oh, it's gonna be great, it's gonna be real. Just let me do what I'm supposed to do. That's it. If you want me to shake your hands, if you want me to give you a t-shirt, go ahead and have one. I don't care about the t-shirt. I want you to have this message because it's not from me and it's not about me. You see, when God said I gave you head down pushing, it wasn't just about you, Marques. So I talked to my wife about 2007. She says I have a job for it. And my willingness has changed because that feeling of not knowing, it'll eat at you. When you don't know where you're headed, when you feel like you don't have the tools, you have to decide to go get the tools. When you feel like you don't have the information, you have to go get the information. You can't let something stand in between you and that. You have to be hungry about it. It has to mean your last meal. It has to mean your life to you. When you look at your kids, your nephews, your brothers and sisters, what are you representing in front of them? Who are you in